Good evening, everyone. Hello, how is it going? It feels like forever since we did a stream. Didn't do one last game week. Was away for the weekend and just came back. Felt absolutely wrecked. Just about put up a preview video. But we're back. Hopefully, we're almost back to normal now. I don't know how many more midweek games there are. None. Well, there will be for the double game weeks. But other than that, there's not too many. And even in those double game weeks, they'll at least be part of the same game week instead of two separate game weeks. So it's not too bad. But yeah, we're back. Raring to go, even if I don't sound it. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a long day. We're here, starting at 9. I know I keep changing the times of streams, don't I? I mean, 9:30 was always handy for me. But I much prefer starting at 9 or earlier so I can... basically, so I can stop earlier. And sleep, as you can see. Need it. There's 4 polls tonight. Game Week 29 captain. Your Game Week 29 captain, not the best one. Are Chelsea attackers worth it? Good fixtures coming up. No blanks. Double game week as well to come. What to do with Aubameyang? What to do with Salah? People getting very annoyed with Salah, especially after the captain blank. So yeah, 4 polls. Click on them, hit the like button, all that good stuff, and we'll get going. Let me get the proper screen on. I need a proper background. I know someone else said that on a video the other day. They're like, you need to get a bit more colour, and I do have a plan for it, which doesn't involve decorating the room necessarily. But I don't know if it'll be this season, so you might have to put up with this for a few more game weeks. My lovely white wall with some of the brown dooring. What's up, Robert? How is it going? Welcome back. Thanks for that. Good to see you as always. Is anyone else's audio a bit dodgy or is it just your end? It sounds okay to me. And I can hear what you can hear. So hopefully it's okay. But let me know if it's not. And if it's not, let me know what's dodgy about it. Jamie Vardy, yeah, I mean, obviously the title of the stream is about Leicester players in. Obviously, I'm a little bit annoyed because, not annoyed, but it's a bit of a knee-jerk to now want Vardy in because I didn't get him in for this game week. I was going to take Son and Rashford out for Vardy plus a whoever in midfield. Would have probably been Almiron, so wouldn't have actually come out that much better. But yeah, Vardy looking good now, I think. Got his goal. Really good fixtures to come. A bit of new manager bounce, maybe. And yeah, just low-owned, pretty good price. I'm jealous, people that have got him. I could still get him in. I've still got 2 free transfers, actually. I didn't use one. I only used 1 of 2 last week. And I'm probably only going to use 1 or 2 this week. That's got to be the first time I've done that this season. But I'm probably going to have to go without Vardy now. Might bring him in at some point, but I doubt it. CRYP. It might be in my spam folder. I'll have a look. Maybe after this. I got 10 emails. I got 10 emails in my spam folder. Maybe I should check that more often. Anyway, won't worry about it now. Keeping Aguero if Jesus is fit. Yes, because even if he doesn't play this game week, he'll play the next one, you'd imagine. I am a bit worried about Pep's comments. Obviously, he said that... he was knackered in the last 15 minutes. Bit of a tiny bit of a rest now before the weekend. Which is a bit worrying. If Jesus is out, I think it's a little bit better. And I think he'll just probably play 60 or 70 minutes and come off again. Obviously, the title race is very, very close right now. So Pep's going to want to play his first 11 as much as possible. But, you know, Jesus coming in or Sterling playing false 9 or whatever it might be... You know, it's pretty viable with that squad. But I'm not too concerned about Aguero. But obviously, captain-wise, it's a little bit of a worry now. Obviously, like a lot of people this week, kind of wish I had Sterling. So yeah, last week went pretty well. 68 points. I said in my preview video that my last 2 game weeks have been good, but actually it was only 2 of the last 3 because the week before was the blank game week 27, which I got a tiny red arrow, like less than 1,000 places red arrow. So I forgot about that one. But over the last 3 weeks, I've gone up about 20k. So I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, let me show you my team. This is how I'm looking currently. You mentioned on your video you were going to take Bednarak out over Wan-Bissaka. So what I should have said at that point is it depends, because I don't know if we've got if I missed it, but I don't think we have we don't know when he's going to be back, basically. Now, I don't need to play him this week. I don't need to play Bednarak or Wan-Bissaka. Now, in game week 30, I would like Wan-Bissaka to play because he's got Brighton at home. And then after the blank, it's Huddersfield at home, although, granted, I won't necessarily have to play him for that. And potentially he's got a game in game week 33 as well, which we'll have to wait and see. Whereas Bednarak has Man United and Spurs, then a blank. Then the game week 33 game is against Liverpool, which is no good. So if Wan-Bissaka is back, I just prefer him for a couple of fixtures that I'm actually going to need him for. I'm not going to need him a great deal. Neither am I going to need Bednarak. So that's why I'm thinking of getting rid of Bednarak, basically. And then benching Schindler this week. I basically got 2 free transfers and not a whole lot I need to do with them, to be honest. I'm trying to hold off making both transfers for as long as I can, really. So I'm probably going to do Bednarak to David Luiz or Ricardo from Leicester, and then bench Schindler, and then save the other transfer. And probably Son will end up going for me before the blank. Jimenez at home to Cardiff has to be a captaincy shout. Yeah, I think I mentioned him briefly. I just don't. I don't know. He's been so consistent, but do I see many double figure hauls in him? Not really. Even against Cardiff, yes, they've been poor, but I don't think I'd ever trust Jimenez with the armband, to be honest. Especially over like the likes of Aguero, Pogba, Salah. Yes, I know Salah's form's been poor. But yeah, I don't see too many double figure hauls in Jimenez's future, but maybe they'll come. Doherty captain. I can never captain a defender. My nose couldn't take it. Yeah, I'm considering David Luiz. I actually originally was just going for Ricardo, and then I remembered when I was actually chatting about Chelsea assets that he's actually a very similar-ish price, probably about 0.5 million more, but I can afford both because I did Rashford to Rondon. So Harvey Barnes, I really want Harvey Barnes, even though eye test wise he's got a lot to do when it comes to finishing, but he is getting a lot of chances. I mentioned in the video as well, Leicester are right at the top for goal attempts, and that's even before they fired Puel. So they're right up there ahead of City for the last kind of 4 or 5 game weeks, which is pretty. It was actually pretty surprising because when I thought about how Leicester were doing, I thought they were doing pretty poor. And to be fair, they weren't scoring too many goals, but they're getting a lot of chances. So yeah, I've actually thought about doing Son to Harvey Barnes this week. I just feel like that is one that could absolutely bite me. Maddison, yeah, another option. I think Maddison's kind of your assister, I think, there. Yes, of course he can score goals, but it doesn't have too many goal attempts, whereas Harvey Barnes is having a lot of goal attempts, but not necessarily creating as many not necessarily creating as many chances and not putting his chances away just yet. David Brook when he's back. Yeah, someone mentioned Fraser. I think Bournemouth looked good. I think it's from game week 30. It's always the problem with doing these things live. I can't always remember exactly. I'm sure it's game week 30. Yeah, they started with Huddersfield, and they got Newcastle, Leicester, Burnley, Brighton, Fulham, Southampton. So pretty good run. So yeah, I like Bournemouth. Obviously, they've not really been doing too great recently. They had that good result against Chelsea, but ultimately haven't done that well recently. But obviously Brooks has been injured. Wilson's been out as well. So with the good fixtures coming up, and they've had a pretty hard run as well. With the fixtures coming up, yeah, I definitely look at Bournemouth as kind of filler's probably the wrong word, but they do fit in nicely in cheap slots, and they don't have blanks either. So yeah, I'm liking Bournemouth options, especially if Brooks is back and fit. Barnes is a talent, but also Mavericks are probably not for you. Yeah, you're right. It is a bit of a risk, and I just don't know how big of a risk it is because Son has looked tired. Spurs losing to Chelsea, losing to Burnley, not in great form. Didn't really look great against Chelsea. Didn't create much, to be fair, but it was a top 6 game. I don't know how much you make of that. So yeah, a little part of me wants to get rid of Son. I'm going to get rid of him anyway. And got that Fulham game after what I think it's Watford then Fulham for Leicester. And look, Fulham are awful. They've been pretty much the whole season. We've kind of said if someone's playing Fulham, they're probably going to get points or the team's going to get goals. I don't think that's necessarily going to change with a new manager unless they bring in someone like Sam Allardyce and he goes absolutely deep, long ball, proper awful, proper horrible tactics when it comes to trying to score goals. But at this point, there are a lot of points behind. They've got to get goals as well as stop conceding them. So they look kind of down and out at the moment. And new manager bounce didn't help last time. So really targeting them, and that's kind of what I got my eye on with the Leicester players. But obviously, Son has Southampton, but even they've been a bit tighter recently. I just think the North London derby against Arsenal is so hard to call. I just don't know. Will there be goals? Will there not? These games can be tight. There was a 4-2 early in the season. Could it be the other way around this time? Maybe. I don't really know how to call it, to be honest. So yeah, Son, I feel like I don't have to get rid of him, but also I'm going to get rid of him before the blank anyway. So yeah, it's a tempter. And again, I'm still a little bit regretful is probably a better word than annoyed about getting Rondon in. And it's not to say he's necessarily a bad pick, but I think Son to a cheaper midfielder and Rondon to a more expensive forward might have been the better way to go. I could still do that this week and not change the defender, but then it just feels wrong to have got Rondon last week, so I'm probably going to keep him, even if it was maybe a mistake. Please can you tell us your chips plan? Do you have Patreon? Oh my god. That almost sounds like a setup. I'll tell you what, let me quickly read that out now. So this is the Patreon shout out to the producers: Dean P, Matchek, Gaz H, Melissa B, Ryan T.O.B, Matthew H, Hayden H, Christopher M and Scott S. And I should say, I should really have a new screen for this, but I'm lazy and bad at Photoshop. There was a February league for the Patreon people, and Christopher M won that. So there's 50 quid coming your way. If anyone wants to sign up for that, there'll be a new league for March. You've basically got today to sign up for that before it hits 1st of March. And then I'll send out to the code to anyone who kind of signs up for that month. Once the payment's gone through, all the codes come out, and there'll be another 50 quid for March. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, click the link in the description below and check that out. Thanks to those guys for all the support and everyone that's signed up. Can I tell you my chips plan? It's the same as everyone else. I'm free hitting in Gameweek 32. And then I'm wildcard in 34, and I'm bench boosting in 35, and I've wasted my triple captainship already. And I'm feeling pretty good about the chip strategy. I think my team looks good right now. There's Higuain, Hazard, Vardy that I could maybe have in my team that I don't. Sterling as well. So a few players. But I think it's looking pretty good overall. And I've not really kind of killed it to get blank players in. And I've got Puncheon. I don't even know if he counts really. It's not necessarily going to start. But yeah, I've got 2 free transfers. I can build my Game Week 31 team with no real issues unless there's loads of injuries. But in that case, most people will be in the same boat anyway. And I'm looking forward to free hitting in the double game week. It's going to be tough to put a team together, but I'm looking forward to it. Then I get to wildcard to a proper double game week team after game week 33. So, do you think it looks like the best option? But obviously, it depends on what players you got in your team. I just think building towards a double game week, which you don't know what the fixtures are going to be and what injuries are going to be like, who's going to be in form, etc. It's just tough from here. Rondon captain, not a chance. Is anyone else planning to play 3 Man United and 3 Wolves for the double game week? I've not counted out. Luke Shaw, Pogba, Rashford, Doherty, Jimenez +1. Who knows? One of the reasons I want to keep Doherty and Jimenez is because I got them so cheap. Agree he may fire soon, but I don't see why people are going so early. Who are you talking about? Oh, is Higuain punty, considering they had a 4-0 and a 6-0 in 2 of his 4 games? There's not much stats to look at. Yeah, I think it is a bit of a punt. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I mean, you've got to weigh it up. If you're spending that much money on that spot, that forward spot, then, you know, you could get Vardy instead. Is Vardy a better option than Higuain? I mean, he's not really been in form recently either. I do like the idea of going for Chelsea players, but I do completely agree that it is a bit punty because there's you don't need me to tell you, there's obviously loads of stuff. I mean, the players have come out and said the right things. The managers come out and said the right things, but I would say there's been some stuff going on in the changing rooms, maybe just off the pitch, right? Some annoyance at the manager, maybe annoyance at the results. Obviously, the whole goalkeeper thing in the cup final, but they played well against Man City. They've come out and beaten Spurs now, and I just think if you're willing to take a bit of a punt, or especially if you've got no chips, because they have no blanks and they get a double game week. That's almost perfect for people without no chips. You know, and benching Kepa is almost like Sarri kind of saying, look, don't cross me again, I will drop you. And you know, the result against Spurs wasn't... Do you know what, they didn't dominate or anything. Obviously, the second goal was an own goal. They didn't really do much to create that. It was just poor from Trippier and Lloris. But, I mean, they've got the fixtures to turn it around. So... yeah, I like the idea of going for Higuain, but I do think it's a bit punty. And if it was me, I would probably go Vardy instead, personally. But Higuain definitely a differential. I was building for the blanks, but miscalculated. Now I have 11 players who are going to blank. I mean, that is some miscalculation. If you've got no chips, you might just have to lump it. Maybe get a couple more in and just go with like 7 or 8. De Bruyne playing false 9 this weekend will make things interesting. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure they are going to play false 9, to be honest. Maybe you could say it's hopeful because I own Aguero, but I just think if Jesus isn't fit, he'll just play Aguero again, but maybe manage his minutes. It is worth noting that unlike Man United, Man City don't have their Champions League game to the week after, so they've got their game this week against Bournemouth. Then it's a week later for the next Premier League game. Then it's Champions League. So I'm not fully convinced Aguero will get completely rested and they'll play false 9, but it's Pep. You don't necessarily know, I suppose. I think your calculator needs new batteries. Oh yeah, the blanks thing. Because that's what actually made me captain him last week, or last game week. I was thinking he's played 120 minutes, he's played 120 minutes. But then I kind of clicked in my head like a light bulb. It was like, you know, there are other players that have played 90 minutes that week. So it's only an extra 30. I mean, I'm sure it takes its toll. Extremely tiring. You see cup finals and stuff, players getting cramp or whatever. But yeah, he played till the last 15 minutes, was knackered. He gets a bit of rest now over the next few days. I'm not hugely worried about him, but I am a bit more worried about captain now. Would I go Sterling over Aguero if I had him? For captain, yeah, definitely. I mean, Sterling's almost guaranteed to play, right? Got a really good record against Bournemouth, if you believe in that stuff. It doesn't really mean much to me personally, but like I said in the video, I know some players are aware of it. You hear them talk about it. So, yeah, I think Sterling does look like a good option. I think Man City can do... I mean, it's away is the only thing, but yeah, Bournemouth are just there for the taking, I think. Bale to Man United, I'm not going to talk about that. I mean, Bale's been coming to Man United for about the last 5 years, so I'm sure he's coming this year as well. Hard to get City players in when Fernandinho out. Yeah, that's fair. They haven't really... I looked at the results. They haven't scored too many goals while he's been out of the team, interestingly. Now, the sample size is very small. It's not like he's missed 6 games, they've done nothing, and then he's played 6 games and they have. It's only about 2 or 3 games. But yeah, maybe there is something in that. It's a myth. Salah scored 4 against Watford last year and nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't really mean much. Things change. It's like, I remember a couple of seasons back, everyone was going nuts about Lukaku. He'd scored like 8 and 8 against West Ham, and then he played him and blanked. So it was like 8 and 9 or whatever. And then the next time he played West Ham, everyone was like, oh, he scored 8 goals and 9 against West Ham. I was like, come on. The last time he played him, they blanked. Yeah, I will say I'm pretty put off Captain Aguero this week, which means it's going to be Salah, Mane. Would you believe me if I briefly considered Mane last week as a bit of a punt? No, I wouldn't either. But I did have a quick look at him, just because stats-wise he's doing slightly better than Salah. So I'm looking at Salah or Pogba, probably. Don't know. It's tough. I think I might even go Salah. I was watching the captain video on Fantasy Football Scout earlier. They were saying how poor Everton have been at home. Again, though, it's a derby, and that just worries me a little bit. Will Liverpool really turn Everton over? Not sure. Trent Alexander-Arnold is looking like he could be in Ashley Cole's class in a year or two. Yeah, he looks good. Very jealous that Liverpool have him. Very jealous I don't have him in my team, to be honest. I kind of blocked him by getting Mane, which, to be fair, Mane scored 2 goals, so I'm not hugely annoyed. Plus, in Gameweek 31, their blank fixture is against Fulham, so kind of happy to have double attack for that. I don't think we're going to see too many 5-0 games where defenders are so involved for every single one. You could be right. Pogba might be the one. The only thing is, I just think there's more goals for Liverpool against Everton than there is Man United versus Southampton, even though Man United are at home. So I just think if I'm going for the big ceiling, it could be Salah. But the way Pogba's been playing, Man United could win 2-0, and he could be involved in both goals. Goal and assist, 2 goals, 2 assists, whatever it might be. I just wouldn't put it past him in the form he's in at the moment. So I'm not against Pogba at all. I just might go back to Salah. Especially as people are going to be put off Salah a bit, I think. Because of how he's been playing recently. And maybe that's why I shouldn't captain him. But if he's going to have slightly reduced captaincy for once, maybe that's a good reason to put it back on him. 1-0 last minute at Anfield. Yeah, very tight game. That was that Origi goal, wasn't it? The mess up from Pickford. Who would you bring in, Hazard or Sterling this week if you're free hitting in 32? I mean, it depends whether you can, what your squad looks like, whether you can bench Sterling in 31. If you're struggling for blank players, maybe I'd take a punt on Hazard. Will I be getting Hazard in this week? Super unlikely. I mean, I can afford it. I can do Son to Hazard, but that means not being able to upgrade a defender, and I kind of want Pereira or Luiz, I think, because of the blanks. Then I'm not getting a blank player in. I don't know. Have to disagree on that. I think United will win by 3 and Liverpool by just 1. Everton will be well up for it. Yeah, and it is a derby, so that does, as poor as the stats have been for Everton defensively, it is a derby, and you just never want to call them. And obviously, you don't necessarily need like a 4 or 5-0 victory to get big points. Obviously, you've got to be involved in a higher percentage of the goals if there's so little. Why is there so little talk about free hit in Game Week 31? You only have 4 players playing in that. yeah, I mean, if you're in that situation, maybe there's a lot of reasons why people are free hitting in 32. One, they decided a few weeks ago, so they've already been planning. So they, for me, I've not left myself in a position where I've only got 4 players. I've got Fabianski, Robertson, Salah, Mane, Schindler, Punchin, maybe. So I've got 6, plus 2 free transfers already. So I'm kind of already on my way. And I'm going to bring in another defender this week, so that'll be 7 already. If you include Punchin, which I'm not sure you do. And the other thing is, we're not going to find out when the double game weeks are now. I think Ben was saying until not after game week 31. So you're only going to know exactly who's playing in that double game week very, very late on. So it's very difficult to plan for. And we don't 100% know which fixtures are going to go in which week. Rondon, yeah, of course. I knew I had more than 6. Sorry. When I said 6, I was like, no, because I must have bought one in. Completely missed Rondon, I'm sorry. So yeah, anyway, I've already got 7. What was I saying? So the good thing about the free hit in 32 is you know who's going to play, and you can jump on them. If there's any big injuries, you just don't get those players in your squad. Whereas if you start planning now for the double game week, we're only going into game week 29, so you've got this week 30 and 31. So 3 game weeks to get it right for 32. So that's why people mostly aren't doing it. It just feels like the other way is going to work better. But for your team, that might not be the best way. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka maybe play 33, yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Wouldn't resting key players be expected in order to overturn the Champions League tie? If Man United reserves can't be relied on to beat Saints, I think you can't. I think you may be underestimating Southampton a little bit. They're not going to put out a full load of reserves. At the end of the day, yes, it would be nice to overturn that Paris Saint-Germain result, but that's going to be super tough. And top 4 is like a real. Top 4 was looking like it definitely wasn't going to happen back in the Mourinho days. Whereas now, let me have a look. Can't remember exactly where we are. Sorry, excuse the sniffing. So we're 5th, only 1 point behind Arsenal. So top 4, I'm realistically not going to win the Champions League this year. Maybe Solskjaer's going to try and go for it in case he doesn't get kept on, but it looks like he will. So top 4 has got to be a huge consideration. So I don't expect Pogba to get rested. I do think Rashford is a risk. I do think he's a risk for either minutes managed or just not starting. So yeah, there could be some rests. Yeah, for sure. It's just tough to pick exactly who it'll be. I asked you 2 months ago if top 4 was a possibility, and you said no. Well, things change pretty quick when it comes to Man United. Pogba suspended. Yeah, good point. Good point. So he's definitely not going to get rested. So maybe that makes him an even better pick. What a stupid red card that was. Don't forget, by the way, if you haven't already, click on the polls, top right hand corner, click on the little eye, and vote on the polls. There's 4 of them up. And hit a like on the stream if you're enjoying it. Expected big hitters to go for in free hit 32. I'll be completely honest with you, barely giving it a thought. Because I know I'm going to free hit in that week, I don't really need to worry about it yet. Doesn't matter what happens, I can react with the free hit. So I've kind of not really looked at it. You're a Sunderland fan, so you can't bring in any Newcastle players. What do you think of VARDY? I just think he's not guaranteed to play at the moment. Injury prone. I'd be a little bit worried about him. For me, the striker that no one's really got. Obviously, a lot of people went for Rondon or Barnes this week. From game week 30, I quite like King, to be honest, for Bournemouth. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to go for it against Paris Saint-Germain. And the problem with going for it against Paris Saint-Germain, or PSG, is that on the counter, I mean, Mbappe is... Like, I know he tweeted out saying he was quick. And, like, people said, no, Sherlock. But when you see it, like, because I don't watch him all the time. I don't watch the French league at all, really. Obviously, saw him in the World Cup. But every time you see him, you just think, I mean, there's fast and there's Mbappe. So trying to go for it and then just leaving him on the counter, I just don't see us winning. Don't see us overturning that. Pessimistic, I know. Fingers crossed. It'd be a great game if we do. What if Wilson is due back then? Is it good or bad for King? I mean, King will probably keep his place. But yeah, it could be a problem because we saw earlier in the season. I don't know what they did more recently when Wilson was in the team. But obviously earlier in the season we saw that Wilson was kind of a bit more wide. Didn't necessarily get as many shots in the box. And Wilson was the main, the number 9 there. So yeah, it could be a bit of an annoyance there, potentially. It's hard to say exactly how they'll play with him back in. How quickly will Wilson come back in? I mean, they need to change something up, Bournemouth. Last few results not gone too well. Hopefully Fulham continue leaking goals. I think they will. I just, they can't bring any new players in. They've got what they've got. Just down and out, I think. Who's in the bottom? Fulham, Huddersfield and Cardiff. That's what I predicted to go down. Probably like a lot of people. So I'm hoping it stays like that. Just so I get my prediction right. Sorry, Fulham fans. Wilson on pens, yeah. No, wait, isn't King on pens? I think King's on pens, isn't he? Yeah. No team has ever overturned a 2-goal home defeat in Champions League history. Yeah, I just don't see it. Mbappe's really quick, by the way. Just in case you never realised. Will Spurs find form now the pressure is off? Yeah, I don't know about that because... I mean, for me, yeah, pressure may be off, but then is that not completely demoralising? The way it's kind of turned out. They were kind of getting close to the league, and I don't want to say they've bottled it, but they're 9 points behind now. That's probably not going to be overturned. You'd imagine, not by Spurs. Liverpool and Arsenal in the next 4 game weeks, including a blank. I don't know. I don't think Spurs are a team to jump on right now. Which of Huddersfield, Fulham and Cardiff are most likely to come straight back up? If they all keep their players, definitely not Cardiff, I don't think. Probably Fulham. Maybe Fulham. Don't know. Huddersfield. I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, Fulham for me. I think they got more goals than them. Defensively, that they'd really have to pick up. Son's points now reflecting his stats. Yeah, a bit of a worry. Rabiot sacked his wife, who was his agent, for not getting the Barcelona transfer. Is that true? That's quite funny if that's true. Have I started scouting championship players for next season? Hell no. I will wait. Wait to see who comes up. Wait to do some research at that point. I don't, to be fair, I don't tend to go for newly promoted players straight away. I went for Jota this season. But that's about it. Oh, it was his mum. Okay. That's still pretty funny. What's up, Gorav? Am I aiming for top 1k? Yeah, why not? I think it's still possible. Top 10k would just be nice, to be honest. Or top 5k. Would I double stack West Ham defence this week? It wouldn't be top of my priority list. That's for sure. Do I go on the Reddit FPL page sometimes, but not that regularly, honestly. Am I removing Son? Probably not, but there is a little part of me that wants to for Maddison or Barnes, just to get some Leicester player, to get a Leicester player in. But I might just make the one. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna make one transfer this week. Hold 2, keep myself flexible. Hope it's Leeds. The manager reveals the starting lineup in his pressers. I mean, that's great. If I had the triple captainship, how would I use it? I think I might save it till game week 38, to be honest. Just take a punt then. My game week 31, 32, 33 plan is free hit in 32, basically. You would not captain Aguero. Yeah, I probably won't captain Aguero. I haven't really made my choice just yet, but let me just put it on Pogba for now. Although I'll just get... people would just say, would you not captain Salah or Mane? There you go. How about that? Captain Doherty, no way. No way. Yeah, people were talking again about dropping Salah. If you own him already, surely this stage of the season is not when you have a luxury transfer to get rid of Salah. Unless you've got something amazing you can do with the money, which is a lot of money. See you later, Fozzie. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Will I ever captain the defender? No. You fluctuate between top 1,500. Very, very nice. Very impressive. Chelsea double game week, there will be one, yeah. Can't decide between Higuain or Vardy. I think I'll go Vardy. He's a little bit cheaper. He's on penalties. As good fixtures. No, if you haven't got chips, maybe Higuain because he's got a double game week. But if you're using free hit and wildcard and stuff, then Vardy for me, I think. Sorry, excuse me. How much will Doherty be next season? If he's 5.5, will he be in your team? 5.5 is quite a bit of money. I mean, over the course of the season, he was on 110 points in 28 games. So, it's 3.9. It's not bad. Maybe if you had a really good fixture run to start with, I'd look at him. But getting him for 4.4 versus 5.5, it's a big difference. So it wouldn't be a straight in call, I don't think. Should you trade Robertson to Trent? I think that's like trading Salah to Mane. Excuse me, it's just a luxury. Sure, if you've really got nothing else to do, but for me, I would just keep Robertson. I mean, yes, Trent had a hat-trick of assists, but let's not forget Robertson also got an assist. So, God, excuse me. 2 assists, I mean, sorry. 2 assists. I mean, basically, Trent got 1 assist more. And he got 3. I mean, that's ridiculous. Transfer, I'm thinking Bednarak to David Luiz or Ricardo Pereira at Leicester. Something about David Luiz, I just want to own him. Do you know what I mean? I think it's the hair, the passing, potential for a free kick, maybe. Is Mkhitaryan a trap? Absolutely, I think. Look, despite how good he's looked, despite his points, stats-wise, they're not great. They're okay, but they don't match what he's been scoring points-wise. And also, let's not forget, it is Spurs away, Man United at home, blank for Arsenal. It's definitely not a buy for me. Definitely not a buy. In my opinion. Triple captain button. So jealous. Next year will be the year for me. I'm going to be like Liverpool winning the league. Next year will be my year with the triple captain. Promise. Double figure haul for sure. What do I think about Hazard captain this week? I think it is ballsy and I like it. If you really want to go differential against Fulham, I really do like it. But you don't know what kind of form they're going to be in. So it is risky, I think. I think there's better, more sensible, or there's better safe picks. Does that make sense? What should the chip strategy be with that wildcard? I'm not really sure I have a good answer for that, if I'm completely honest. If you've got all the other... If you've got all the other chips, okay, let's say you've got your free hits. I mean, bench boost, whatever. If you've got the free hit, I feel like that should be used in a double game week. So you got, because the thing is, you could build for double game weeks, but you're gonna really hurt yourself for blank game weeks. And then any player that you miss out on in the blanks, it kind of deducts from having a double game week player, if that makes sense. I'm not sure I ever explained that properly, but let's say you have Pogba that plays 2 games, but you have one less player in game week 31, then you've missed out on a game anyway. So having a double player doesn't really make any difference. So I try and have a bit of a balanced size, but I'd probably use the free hit in 32 or 35, whichever double game week ends up being the better one. But yeah, just try and balance it as much as you can. It's very hard about a wild card, to be honest. I mean, those of us with a wild card that are kind of dead ending our teams into 31 and 33, we've got it much easier. And that's the rubbish thing about the wild card, really. At the start of the season, at the start of next season, people are gonna ask me about chips. They're gonna ask every other FPL content creator about chips. When should I use them? And then we're all gonna say, we'll save them for the double game weeks. We'll save them for the blank game weeks. And that'll be that, really. For 30 odd weeks, we won't even use them. Aubameyang to Higuain. Yay or nay? I think you can get rid of Aubameyang this week, yep. To Higuain, it's a bit punty. If you wanna go for a bit of a punt, do it. It's your team. Looking like Santa Claus, really? Straight from the gym earlier. Kolasinac, best replacement. Depends how much money you got. I know that Ricardo at Leicester, maybe a Newcastle defender, although maybe not going to play in game week 33, so keep that in mind. Trent, if you can afford that. Trent looks like a good pick. Maddison or Vardy. I mean, it depends how easily you can fit one or the other into your team. I think I'd rather have Vardy. If you've already got a good and maybe even cheap forward line, you're happy with it, then I think Maddison's a decent option too. I don't think there's a huge amount in it, but I think I prefer Vardy. His captain Hazard too risky. I mean, it's like Higuain, right? It is a risk, yeah. Risk is probably not the right word. It's a bit of a punt because no one else is going to captain it. And when I say no one, he's not going to be high up on the captaincy percentages, right? He's not been in the best form. Chelsea's not been in the best form, so you're kind of banking on them getting to a decent amount of form, like they did against Huddersfield, against a poor Fulham side who are under a caretaker manager. Will Fulham suddenly be able to stop Chelsea because of the new because of Scotty Parker there? I don't know. I don't think so. So I think Hazard is definitely a bit of a punt because he hasn't necessarily got the FPL form behind him. But that's at the end of the day, you don't care about the points he hasn't got. You want points in the Fulham game, and if you think he's going to get points, he's a good captain. And I don't think there's a massive, Sterling against Bournemouth is really good. Salah against Everton, Pogba against Southampton, they're good options, but I don't know if they're completely must-have captains. So I think Hazard, there's worse weeks to go for a differential in Hazard. The next game week starts on Saturday. And then the one after that is the next Saturday. And I got to be honest, I'm loving the fact it's Saturday to Saturday. Like, I love making these videos and I love doing these streams, but when it is midweek whatever, it takes it out of you. Rodgers loves wingers that will get involved. If Barnes can finish, he'll be great. Yeah. Harvey Barnes, what a legend. As a Celtic fan, Gray is a Rodgers type player. I mean, that's the one thing about getting Leicester assets in this week. It would be nice to see him, fully in charge. Obviously, he's taken training and stuff this week. Or started taking training, and obviously it'd be his team or his selection at the weekend. Be interested to see whether he plays the same team or not, and how they set up and stuff. So, another reason why I kind of want to wait on the transfer for them. So I may do Schindler to Louise. I'm probably going to go for Louise, I think, over Ricardo. Maybe. shouldn't. And then I'll have 2 free transfers. And I might transfer out Son, although before Southampton would be a bit of a killer. But maybe a Leicester midfielder will look right up my street. You can have 4 players from one team. Liverpool, for sure, right now. Mane, Salah, Trent and Robertson. Easy. Don't forget to vote on the polls. We're going to do them in a minute. Do them in just a minute. Keep Rashford or downgrade to free up cash. If you have something to do with the money, you could downgrade him, but I think it's Southampton at home. You've probably got to keep him, take the risk that he plays. Who am I definitely bringing in for Gameweek 31? I've not really put any definites in, but I know that I'm probably going to get rid of Son and Aguero. So maybe VARDY and maybe even another Leicester midfielder. Not quite sure yet. I'm going to look at Bournemouth too. Just got it. Did you miss anything? Only all of the stream. Only 54 minutes so far. We're about to do the polls. I'm going to refresh. Gonna refresh right now. Salah to Mane to free up money for Sterling. If it's for free, maybe. Could be an interesting move if you're going to captain Sterling. I don't know. I mean, if that goes wrong and you can take it going wrong, then yeah, go for it. But getting rid of Salah before a game like Everton could come back to bite you. That's all I'm saying. Your Game Week 29 captain is Pogba. 29% is top. This is why I do your captain, because I'm sure best captain he probably won't be top. Sterling 28%, so very close to Pogba. Very nice if you own Sterling. Bit jealous. Aguero on 17%. Salah only on 12%. And then someone else at 11%. So Salah not even in the top 3. I'd be very surprised if that happens in live teams on Saturday, but we'll see. Are Chelsea attackers worth it? 38% of you say none of them are worth it. 33% think Hazard is. 15% Higuain. 10% saying both Higuain and Hazard are worth it, and then 3% saying someone else, maybe Pedro or something. But yeah, most people are not liking them, really. What to do with Aubameyang? Twist 78%, not liking the fixtures in the blank. Get rid, the people are saying. And what to do with Salah? Stick 81%. Not surprising, really. You got to stick with Salah, I think, for the most part. What would a 2-player per team limit make? Would a 2-player per team limit make FPL more interesting, less template, or more template? My gut instinct is that it would make it less template. Would it? No, probably wouldn't. The thing is, how often do you have 3 players from the same team? Anyway, it doesn't happen that often. Now, for the double game weeks, it probably will be. Like right now, I've got triple Liverpool. Would I have triple Liverpool if it wasn't for the blanks? Maybe not. But yeah, I know it does happen. But no, I don't know if I'm that bothered about it, really. I mean, like, I had triple Liverpool last night, and it just felt like every person on Twitter had double defence and not Mane. So even though I had 3, I didn't have necessarily the same as everyone else. So yeah, I'm not really bothered about it, to be honest. I think 3 seems fine. It's been working this long. I'm not saying you shouldn't change something because it's working, but it seems okay. Am I saying trust Salah with Captaincy for 1 more week? Yeah. Why not? Why not? When's the next stream going to be? The next stream will be Sunday at 9 o'clock. Boom. There you go. Sunday at 9 o'clock, then Thursday at 9, maybe 9:30. It's going to be nice to have a normal week. Right. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for tuning in. Like I said earlier in the stream, there is a 50 quid prize for March's Patreon League. If you want to sign up for that, check the link in the description below. Get that sign up done before tomorrow, and I'll send out the codes when I can. Congratulations to Chris M again on winning February's league. Obviously, make sure you've got PayPal and stuff so I can send you that. And if you've got any other questions about it, let me know. Next stream will be on Sunday. Good luck for Game Week 29. Make sure to hit a like on the stream, be much appreciated. Otherwise, good luck, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.